Welcome to this short session in which I would like to share my thoughts on how the education process in the schools can be improved. Now I am calling that as a new approach to teaching. So remember that the stakeholders, when we talk about teaching, are the students, the teachers or the faculty, and the school where the teaching is done. So these are the three stakeholders. Now, in the context of how the stakeholders, all the stakeholders would get benefited, let us look at the new approach to teaching. So let us analyze the way teaching is done currently in the schools. So if we look at the current format or the current existing method of teaching, we have the teachers, we have the classroom environment where the teachers offer the classes. This is basically a delivery of lecture and interaction session, interaction with students. So the classroom environment consists of a lecturer presenting the material to the students. So that's what I say is delivery of lecture. So 95% of the time the lecturer is making a presentation in a non-interactive mode. And then in between the lectures, probably there are some questions being asked by the students. That's what I call it as interaction with students. And I believe this interaction with the student constitutes about 5% of the time of the lecture. So 5% of the classroom time is spent on interaction with students. So this is how the classroom hour is broken into. 95% of the time is spent on delivery of the lecture, which is basically a one-way communication. The teacher is delivering the lecture and the students are just listening. And the other 5% goes in interaction with students. Note that in this case I am eliminating the time that goes into goes as noise basically, which I am just ignoring at the time for the time being. So we have the classroom environment and then we have the lab sessions. So the lab sessions may not be meaningful for all the subjects, but still I need to consider that. In this case what happens is there is a demo by the lecturer and then the actual experiments conducted by the students. Experiment by students. So this is how the time is spent. So in the lab sessions we have the demo. I'm not sure if this happens in all the schools, but I'm assuming that this is a lecturer or a demonstrator who demonstrates how the experiment is done and explains about the experiment as such. And then the students are asked to conduct the experiment themselves, verify that, record the observations and make presentations to the lecturer. So this is how the time, these are the activities as far as the lab sessions are concerned. Note that the delivery of lecture in a classroom environment, 95% of the time is a routine one-way communication, and likewise when a lecturer makes a demo of the lab session, it's basically a one-way communication wherein the lecturer is making a demonstration. And these two aspects are repetitive in nature. The delivery of lecture and the demo sessions are repetitive in nature. So my proposal is, wherever we have repetitive actions, we need to capture that in the knowledge base, and then we should be in a position to present that over and over again. And my new approach therefore would include capturing of the knowledge base. So this would say capture the lectures as such. I'm not going into the mechanism of how we are going to do it, in what format we are going to keep it, but suffice it is for me to say that these lectures are captured probably in a digital format. And now as far as the interaction with the students are concerned, we could even capture this knowledge base, capture these as frequently asked questions or as Q&A sessions, question and answer sessions. So we can capture the interaction with the students, the kind of information exchange or the doubts that the students ask the lecturer and the responses from the lecturer as frequently asked questions or as Q&A sessions, which can be played over and over again, and we can also build over this Q&A sessions over a period of time. Now as far as the lab sessions are concerned, we could have these demos, capture the demos. So capture and store these demo sessions so that we can exhibit this over and over again. And now the actual experiments conducted with the students remain as it is, because we cannot even think of automating that. This is an activity that needs to be done by the students. And now I also propose that in a new approach, apart from capturing these lectures, the lectures delivered by the lecturers, as well as capturing of the question and answer sessions, I also propose that we have two additional aspects here, and that is have tutorial sessions of probably an hour duration, once in 2 weeks or once in a month, wherein the students are given assignments and they are working in a class. They are solving those questions, or they are answering those questions, or solving those problems in the classroom environment, in the class, and the lecturer goes around and helps the students in solving the problems or answering the questions. So in this case, the lecturer would get to know what are the difficulties that a specific student is having. This becomes kind of a personal a session in which personal attention is given to the students. So I propose we have a tutorial session once in a while. And then the other aspect is we will have a session wherein animation show. We have a session either as a separate session or embedded as the lecture as such, an animation show or an animation session wherein we try to show the concepts in an animated fashion. So for example, if I have to show how a motor works, probably I can have an animation of the motor rotating and then the currents getting generated, or the if it is a dynamo or if it is a generator, then I can show how the electromotive force is getting generated there in phase with the rotation of the motor. So I can have those animations done, and then this can be either separate aspect as such, separate show as such, or it could be embedded within these lectures. So I propose in the new approach we have 4 aspects here. One is the delivery of the lectures as such, and then delivery of Q&A sessions to the students, and then we have a tutorial session, we have tutorial sessions, and then we have animated shows. And then as far as the lab sessions are concerned, we have the demos of the lab. We have a demo of the lab capture in a digital format, which we can exhibit over and over again. So this is the new approach I have in mind. So with the new approach in mind, now let us see the major advantages that we get out of this. I mean, there are several advantages, several probably disadvantages too, but I am trying to talk about the advantages, the main advantages that the stakeholders get when we go for the new approach. The first main advantage is, as far as the students are concerned, from the student's point of view, a student always has access to the lectures. So if a student misses one of the classes, probably he has an option of going over the class once again, which is not possible in the current scenario, in the existing scenario, because these lectures are archived or captured once and made available. And then as far as the interaction with student, as far as the interaction is concerned, again the student has got access to this frequently asked questions or the Q&A sessions, so that even before he attends the class, he can get his doubts clarified. So that is one way it's going to, the Q&A sessions are going to help the students. So this is what a student gains by this new approach. As far as the faculty is concerned, the faculty gains because the repetitive task of delivery of lecture is taken away from the lecturer. So the lecturer doesn't have to make these deliveries of the lecture over and over again for several classes or over a period of time. So the lectures are captured and is made available, so the lecturer doesn't have to deliver the same lectures over and over again. So the repetitive task of a lecturer is taken away. So that is how the lecturer gets benefited. Likewise, as far as the lab session demos are concerned, he doesn't have to make these demos over and over again unless the syllabus changes. So these demos, this capturing of these lectures as well as the demos are going to help the lecturer. The lecturer can make use of these times for other useful activities such as doing research and development activities. So that is how the lecturer would get benefited. And as far as the school is concerned, the school can get immensely benefited if they can make use of these lectures and make them available either as a service to the students of other colleges or other schools, or they make this service available to the community as such, either as a free service or as a paid service. And also going forward, the school can think of offering these lectures as a product, so they can sell it in the market. I don't know how feasible that is, but that's one of the possibilities that are open to the schools. And therefore, all the stakeholders in the game are getting benefited by this new approach. Now with this, let us see how the classroom environment would look like if we go for the new approach. The classroom environment would going to be something like this. We're going to have the students sitting in the class, and then a lecturer also will be sitting in the class, except that he's monitoring or he's displaying these lectures that have been already captured. So the lecturer is there to either clarify the doubts as the lecture progresses to the students, or he is there to review the lectures that are being exhibited. So the other advantage here, which I did not mention, is each and every lecture that is exhibited to the student gets reviewed or can be reviewed by other lecturers as well. So therefore we can ensure that the lectures that are made, lectures that are exhibited are accurate enough. So the classroom environment would look as students are sitting there in the class as it is happening now, and the lecturer is also sitting along with the students, and then he is exhibiting these lectures, and then the students listen to the lectures. It's an audiovisual presentation, so the students listen as well as see the lectures as if it's happening in front of them. The lecturer is sitting there along with the students to clarify any of the doubts that the students get. And then once in a while we'll have the frequently answered questions exhibited to the students, so that it becomes clear to the students, so that it becomes easier for the students to understand the concepts. So these will be short Q&A sessions wherein specific questions for the students are answered. In fact, we can have participation from the students at this stage as far as the Q&A sessions are concerned. And then as far as the tutorial sessions are concerned, it is something new that I am proposing here. In these tutorial sessions, there is a interaction between the lecturer and the student, so that when the student is answering the question, the lecturers or a single lecturer or a set of lecturers are going around the classroom and then talking to students and finding out how they are progressing, what kind of difficulties they are facing. Thereby they will know whether the students have absorbed the concepts properly or there is a deficiency in their absorption of the concepts. So they can have a feedback mechanism wherein we can change these lectures, or we can fine tune these lectures so that the students do not get that kind of doubts that they have, the kind of doubts that they get. Okay, and then the animation shows are something totally new here. These, I believe, are going to help the students understand the concepts very well, because it's always better if somebody sees how things work. A visual medium is always better, rather than, as an example, if a lecturer is explaining how the motor works, it is better that the students see in motion how the motor works. So it stays in their mind for a longer duration of time if they see the action before them rather than just listening to the lectures. So therefore, I believe with this new approach, things are going to be very different as far as the students are concerned, and their ability to understand the concepts is going to be pretty good. Now, as far as the same explanation goes for the demo sessions, where as far as the lecturer is concerned, he doesn't have to demonstrate that over and over again, and as far as the students are concerned, they can look at this demo any number of times, assuming that it is available for them to see. And also, as far as the school is concerned, they can make these demo sessions available to the community as a free service or as a paid service. So this is a new approach I have in mind. I hope I have convinced all of you enough to go in for the new approach and then make a difference in the life of the students, the faculty, as well as the school.